Alright, so for Assignment 3, Part 2, what I want you guys to do is to insert a couple of vertical alignments into your profile views. We're only going to do this for the north-south and east-west alignments. We're not going to do it for the offsets. Doing it for those two is good enough. So that's why you don't see them on the side over here like I did in Part 1. So what I want you guys to do is let's go to alignment north-south profile view real quick, and what you need to do in order to insert a vertical alignment here is go to Profile and Profile Creation Tools. And after we select that, we have to select the profile that we're going to start throwing in this vertical alignment. So over here for profile type, let's do vertical profile, and let's call this north to south. Alright, and we want design profile. Out of these options over here, we want design profile. And we want the complete label set. So what that's going to do is it's going to give us information regarding where things in our vertical alignment change. So once we have that selected, we're going to hit OK. And this pop-up comes up just like for normal alignments and stuff like that. So what I want you guys to do is go to Draw Tangents with Curves. And what we're going to do is just start drawing our new vertical alignment. So we have to specify a start point. So essentially what we're doing is we're looking at the current alignment, and we're going to define where we would want this road to go, because that's what we're kind of drawing over here. We're drawing roads, center lines for roads. So let's go in here and draw our first line. So let's say that this point is maybe a little bit too low for where it is right now. We want it to be right about here. And we are going to just continue drawing this road the way we think it should kind of be. So once we're done, we're going to hit enter, and a whole bunch of stuff pops up immediately. So what these are information regarding our curves in this alignment, as well as where certain things or certain points in the curve start. So you can see our tangent line, which is dotted right here, ends over here. So this is where the curve kind of starts. Everything before that is actually straight. So first, this is kind of like in the way, so what I can do is I can select it and actually drag this down over here. I'm going to take this one. I'm actually going to pull it below. So now it looks a little bit cleaner. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep all of our vertical grades less than 5. So we do have a 4.3 over here, so that's getting kind of steep over here. If you were driving this section and you were going up that would kind of start to get a little bit steep. But this is essentially how you draw a vertical alignment. Now for some of the information given here, so what you see for the first part with this vertical alignment is we have our starting station, which is of course at 0, 0, and we have our elevation. So our starting elevation down here is somewhere around 4.91 or 491. So what we're looking at over here is actually starting at almost 491 as well. Excuse me, 489.1, where this is 490.1. Excuse me. So that's what we're looking at over here. We're starting about like 2 feet farther up. And as we move along, our this line right here, this perfectly straight vertical grade is at 2.3, and what we have going on over here now is that at station 131.25, we have our elevation, and this is where we start to get our vertical curve for this alignment, and it ends at station 263.25. at an elevation of 491.46 feet. So the LVC over here is your length of your vertical curve. So that's essentially what we're looking at. And then up here is the elevation of where this point over here is, as well as the station. So that's our PVI. So like our vertical index. So we're looking at the same thing over here. That's exactly what's going on over there. So same information as well. Then we have our grade over here. And then our end station at an elevation of 503 feet. So that's how you incorporate a new vertical alignment into your profile view. This is really helpful for planning out new roadways in which you can't put your road down on a vertical curve that we have over here in our profile view, the red line. That looks something like that. We need it to be nice and smooth. We obviously don't have roads that look like this. Well, maybe if we have a lot of potholes. But so what we're kind of looking at is maybe doing a little bit of cut work where we can see it above. We're maybe cutting some of that out, and we're maybe filling in some of the space here to get it up to this elevation. So we might be filling in over here and down in there and a little bit up there. So that's essentially what the vertical curve is getting at. So I'm going to have you guys do that as well for the east to west alignment as well. And then I have one more thing to show you guys. Okay, so the last thing I kind of want to show you is how to edit your vertical alignment a little bit in the case that you do have a value that might be greater than 5% for this instance, or just in general if you kind of want to move things around. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this vertical alignment. As you can see, there are a couple of little arrows around here that are at the point of vertical intersection, so PVI. That's these lines over here. They're connecting. So what we're going to do here is we can actually change how this curve looks with these arrows. So let's say I want to move it up over here a little bit. Now I've decreased that slope of nearly 5% to around 3%, but this one also went up a little bit because I pulled this up as well. So this increased. So I can move this around, and I can move it in kind of like any direction really. It kind of gives me the freedom to kind of play around with it and see what's possible with this alignment. Let's say I kind of try to smooth it out a little bit more, get it closer to 4%. So another thing we can do is we can add in new points of vertical intersection, so new points like this. So let's say you already exited out of the little tab that usually pops up, so you can start editing things. Just right click on the alignment and hit edit profile geometry, and this will pop up again. So what you want to do is you want to go to right here, insert PVI. So we're going to insert, so we're going to click that, and now we have to specify a point for a new PVI. So let's say I kind of want it somewhere around here. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to take off this snap because it's snapping to my endpoints, which I don't want it to do. So I'm going to go over here, and it's saying, okay, yeah, so I want to put it on the profile alignment here, so I'm going to select that, and now I have a new point, so I'm going to hit enter. And once I hit enter, now you can see it broke up this line into two separate segments, so the slope still stayed the same, but now there's a new point here that I can kind of just mess around with and change where it is, and gauge, maybe I want to add in a couple of these throughout my alignment to try to decrease these grades. Maybe there's a curve that just seems like it's too much, so I want to move it around, or there's a flat grade that I want to kind of move around as well. I could pull this back over here, and maybe okay, so now I don't have to cut or now I don't have to fill as much as I did before with the straight line, and everything is still fine. So that's another thing that we can kind of do to edit these vertical alignments. So I want you guys to kind of mess around with that, and I will have you guys put in one vertical alignment or one PVI, excuse me, in one of your or in both of your alignments for north, south, and east and west, so you guys kind of get used to using that. But for this assignment, like I said, what I want you to do is draw this vertical alignment for north and south and east and west. You don't have to do it for the offsets. I just want you guys to do that again, or just twice here. I don't need you guys to do it for the offsets, and then just plot it again in the map, and this will be your submission once you have all of this stuff in this one as well for part 2 of assignment 2.